All right. We want to welcome everyone to the webinar today for Oil Junkies, Cliff and Heather. And I'm going to show off the shirt once again. There it is, Oil Junkies. And we got my hat on too because, yeah, I need to wear my hat because my hair is kind of crazy. Really quickly, before we kind of jump into the main portion of the webinar, I just want to make sure everyone is familiar with the special that's going on right now, the promotion that Young Living has. So between now and I believe the 28th, so it's just a few days long, started yesterday, I believe. Yesterday the 24th, I hope.
Yes.
So the 24th through the 28th, you can get 15% discount on, and I brought my bottle of Thieves out here, so a 15 milliliter bottle of Thieves, as well as a 3-pack of the Thieves waterless hand purifier. So this is just one of those that you would get a 3-pack of these. And then I don't have the rose ointment, but there's the rose ointment that you can also get the 15% discount on for the promotion. So, you know, Thieves is a very, very popular oil. The waterless hand purifier is also very popular in our house. And, you know, to be able to get that 15% discount, that might be a really great promotion for some people out there, and to share that with family and friends and neighbors, etc. So especially since we're still in the winter season, these are really good products for the winter season. Anything else with the promotion? Nope. Okay, I'm looking at Heather. Heather's over here.
Hi.
Heather's off to the side. All right, so that's really, I just kind of wanted to mention that. And then one other really quick thing that I had forgotten to mention on the last webinar, I kind of had a little brain freeze, and that was beginning March 1st. So that's coming up in just a few days. It'll be Wednesday of this next week. Young Living will no longer require new signups to have a tax ID number on file. They can sign up as a wholesale member, and if they choose to share Young Living products with others and start to build a downline organization, they can do that. They don't have to have a tax ID. So no social security number, no federal tax ID. If they start to earn a certain amount in commissions, they will need to provide a tax ID number for tax purposes, tax recording purposes. But and if they don't, then there will be, you know, a fairly large tax deduction made on their earnings as they continue to make additional commissions. So they will want, you know, if someone does sign up and starts to build a downline organization and share with others, they will want to eventually get a tax ID number on file. But if they're planning to just want to purchase the products and right now not really interested in signing up anyone or earning any commissions, then no tax ID number is required. So, and in the past it was, and I think that'll be a really great change for those out there who say, you know, I really am not planning on sharing this and building a business out of it. I just want to order the products for myself, or maybe order the products and sell them to friends and family, but not necessarily get them to sign up or anything. So this will be a great alternative, and no tax ID number is required. Kind of like, the way I look at it is, it's kind of like almost a Costco membership or Sam's Club membership, where you have to go in and you fill out, or even Amazon membership. You go and fill out your name and email address, phone number, mailing address, and that's it. Then you have an account, and they create that for you. So that's a great change. So those two things, the promotion for the Thieves products and the rose ointment, and then the new change beginning March 1st, those were really the only two things that I kind of wanted to touch base on. And now we want to turn the time over to Deborah Unk, who is going to talk to us about pets and using the oils with pets. So I'm going to turn the rest of the time over to Deborah and leave it with her. Okay. Go ahead, Deborah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. Okay, so first of all, got to do the disclaimer. I am a certified veterinary technician, so an animal nurse, but I'm not a veterinary doctor, so I can't diagnose or prescribe. Everything that I'm going to talk about today is my usage, things I learned at the Animals and Oils conference from the holistic veterinarians there. And also, I don't know if you can see my screen. Can they see my screen?
They should be able to see your screen.
Okay.
Yep.
Also, from this book written by Melissa Shelton, she's a veterinary doctor as well. I don't know that this book is available anymore, but I understand that Life Science Publishing is creating a new Animal Desk reference, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing that come out. Okay, so then let's start off with precautions. For one thing, we only use young living essential oils. And the reason being is because through the seed to seal process, we know the purity of these oils and that they're safe. Adulterated oils have killed animals, so that's why there's a lot of stuff on the internet about that. Always dilute on small animals, little dogs, cats, rabbits, birds, and pocket pets. That would be like sugar gliders and like that. Do that with using V6 oil or coconut oil. And when I use coconut oil to mix or make anything, what I'll do is put the amount that I need in a bottle with a lid on it, put that in hot water to melt it, because it's always solid when you first begin. Okay, now cats are deficient in a certain liver enzyme. They cannot really process tea tree. So I suggest no direct use of tea tree oil on a cat, but it is okay in the blends. And again, another thing, they are not really, they don't like the citrus oils very well. Begin with a small amount, and then you can always give a little bit more or use a little bit more. So watch for a reaction with that small amount. And those reactions would be panting, pacing, and aversion, excessive salivation, and lethargy. And if you see any of those things, quit what you're doing, dilute more with the V6 oil, and give Ningxia. And we're going to talk about giving Ningxia as well. Okay, so some of the dilutions for small animals, cats, exotics, and pocket pets, 90% solution. That is 1 drop of essential oils to 9 drops of carrier oil. Okay, mid-size animals, 50-pound dogs or such, 50%, of course that's half and half. And then large animals, horses, and larger dogs, 80, 90 pounds, that's going to be 0 to 50%. 75% is 1 drop of EO to 3 of carrier oils. Okay, application techniques. Topical. What we're going to do is put it where it's needed. You can put it on the abdomen, wherever the oil is needed, and then we do that by how we would use it on ourselves as well. Instead of putting it on the bottom of their feet, because that's very, very protective, use the web of their feet, and that's going to get more absorption. Another thing I like to do is, I'm going to use my little buddy here, ear tip. We put right here on the ear tip the skin of it, not on the back where the hair is. Now, hair does act as a wick, so another topical is put it in your hands, drop, maybe, rub it around and pet them, and then that's going to absorb into their system like a wick. Diffusing. Say 3 to 4 drops in a diffuser, diffuse for 15 to 20 minutes, and then take a break for a couple hours, and then start again. Look for the reactions that I talked about, and always leave them out. Don't put them in a room where they can't get out. Orally, we can give them orally, but I'm not going to get into that right now. We'll leave that for the holistic vets, and there's plenty of them that you can follow, and maybe at the end I can give you those, or we might be able to do a little Q&A if we have some time. I got a lot of information here. Okay, so let's start with the products. First of all, purification. If you own pets, you have to have purification. We all know how stinky they can get. I'm going to give you a little DIY. What I do is I make a room spray, 4-ounce bottle, spray bottle, like this. And I will put 10 to 15 drops of oil in it, just a little bit of witch hazel to break up the oils, and then fill the rest with distilled water. Shake it up every time that you spray it. You can also use that as a bug repellent. I spray it on me and my dogs when I go outside, hiking or in the yard even. And then carpet freshener is always a good thing to have on hand. So I will take a container like this with a sprinkler top on it, and I'll put baking soda, 10 drops of purification, more baking soda, 10 drops, and shake it up. And the longer you leave it in, the more it's going to work into the baking soda. Then sprinkle it on your carpet, leave it sit for a few minutes, and then vacuum up. Now, you can also use this in cat litter. A lot of cat litters, the scented cat litters, have synthetic fragrances in them. And we know what synthetic fragrances do. So I suggest using Dr. Elsey's. You can get that at the pet store, PetSmart, Petco. It's reasonably priced, and it has no additives at all. And so if that doesn't work for you as far as keeping the odor down, sprinkle some of this in it. And then clean it out, sprinkle it in from time to time. The next one we're going to talk about is lavender, because of course we know that that's the safest of all of them. I diffuse this at night in the bedroom, and we all sleep just wonderfully. We know all how it is for irritated skin. I have 2 animals that have food allergies. So they scratch terribly. One of my cat's face is just, she's scratching it constantly. So the dog has it on his belly and his groin. So one good item to use would be Lavaderm Cooling. And sometimes that's out of stock. So a DIY for that would be, again, in one of these, say 6 drops of lavender, 3 copaiba, keep it in the bottle, shake it up, spray it on. It'll help to soothe. Another one that I like to keep around is the lavender and frankincense serum. And that's just coconut oil. I'll put 10 drops of, or in a 2-ounce bottle, 10 drops of coconut, 10 frankincense, 1 gel cap of vitamin E, and then I will put that on my cat with her poor scratched up face. Working on these food allergies are so hard to control. You know, I also use it on my face from time to time. Ningxia, we can give them Ningxia, and one of the best times to give them Ningxia is after prescribed antibiotics, when they're ill, or just as maintenance. And the dose for that would be cats, a half a teaspoon, maintenance, and then a tablespoon when they're sick. The way that you give that to them is to use a small syringe or a dropper. Now, your typical dropper with the top on it, you know, the squeeze top, is going to be 1 milliliter. This is also 1 milliliter. What you would do is draw it up. 1 milliliter is going to be equivalent to about 1/3 of a teaspoon, 1/4 of a teaspoon. You know, put it in their mouth, but you don't put it directly to their throat, in the cheek, and then put it in. And the reason you don't put it in the throat is because it can go down to their lungs, cause pneumonia. We don't want to do that. Another great thing to use, we all know how important our immune system is. It's the same for our animals. So we want to keep their immune system in as good a shape as we can. We can use Life9 probiotics, especially after antibiotics. Antibiotics kill gut flora, which decreases the immune system. What you can do with the Life9 is give 1/4 to 1/2 a cap, depending on the size of the animal, in their food. So you mix it into, if they'll do wet food, that's awesome. Some of them won't. Sometimes I make a little coconut oil in their dry food, sprinkle that on top and mix that up, and they will eat that because they like coconut oil. Another one, Thieves Household Cleaner. We always have a spray bottle of Thieves Household Cleaner, right? I use that for all kinds of things. Cats are notorious for yakking all over the house. If you have cats, you know that they vomit, right? So one thing to help clean that up is just hydrogen peroxide in a spray bottle, and then also a thieves cleaner will do that as well. I have, with my dogs with the allergies, he's got yeasty feet and his body gets yeasty, so I'll spray that on his feet to help get rid of the yeast, and on his body as well. And it's okay if they lick it, right? It's not going to hurt them. I also use it on wounds. I may scratch myself at work or at home, and I'll spray it on my wounds to keep them clean as well. I like to use, I take a gallon of water in a container, put a cap of thieves cleaner in that, and bathe my dog with it in the tub, run it over the top, let it sit on him for, 3 minutes maybe, and then rinse it off. So some of the collections that I think are important to have around is, one, the Animal Sense collection. Got the 3 oils here and the 3 oils here, and we'll go through those. These top 3 oils, and this was a question that was asked, is are PuraClean, Infect-Away, and Mendwell. These 3 oils are made for wound care. When I say wound care, I don't mean the type that requires sutures, but very minor wound care, scrapes and abrasions, and like that. For the other 3, Paragize is for intestinal parasites. Rather than using some of the pharmaceutical types that are a little more harsh, we can give them this. And it'd be basically 2 to 4 drops in water or on food. Cats are very particular and peculiar. You might be able to mix a drop in their wet food and get that down them. Then the other one is Repel Aroma. This is made to work like the DIY spray that I talked about earlier. Use it before you go outside hiking in your yard. Keep the mosquitoes away. Mosquitoes carry heartworm, and that can be very deadly. So, just a little bit in your, drop or 2 in your hand and pet them all over, and that should keep the mosquitoes and others away. And then the other one is Tea Away, my absolute favorite. Tea Away, Trauma Away. Okay, this is great for animals that have been abused. We're talking severe trauma here. Animals that have been abused or sent to a shelter. They don't know why they've gone to the shelter, and the people just sent them there. They didn't do anything wrong. I use it for, all my animals are shelter animals, by the way, or strays. I use it for thunder and fireworks, and it's also a great thing to use before you get to take them to the vet or the groomer, because they're always afraid of that, right? And what I would do with that, the way I use it is the ear tip, 1 drop, put it in my palm, take a finger, and rub it on your ear tip on each one. These are already diluted with coconut oil, so you really don't need to dilute them. I used it on my cat the other day, just in my hands, rubbed it in my hands, and then pet her, and it seemed to really mellow her out as well. Animal Sense ointment. This is great for just about anything with animals, anything that involves the skin. It does contain tea tree though. So I'd be careful using it on your cats. If you're concerned about it, mix it with some coconut oil and 50-50 and try that, see how that works for them. Animal Scent shampoo, that's very often out of stock, right? We love it, but it's very often out of stock. Oh, the Tea Away, also very often out of stock. So some other things that other oils you can use is Trauma Life and Sarah, both for trauma, right? So the Animal Scent shampoo, another DIY that I like to do is take the an old Thieves hand soap, foaming hand soap container, I fill that 1/4 of the way with Castile soap. Dr. Bonner's is a good one. And then I'll put maybe 10 drops of tea tree oil in it, and then fill the rest with um, with distilled water. Again, not for cats, but for your dogs. And this is great for their skin, the dog's skin, especially if you have irritated skin, like my poor dogs do. I actually also use that on my hands and my face as a wash. And so with this base, you can make not only the tea tree. I mix that up with lemon. And instead of tea tree, I'll put lemon oil in it, 10, 15 drops of lemon oil, and use that as a dishwashing liquid and hand washing. But it's not made to fill up your sink and use because, you know, it won't suds, but just to do the dishes individually. Cuts grease great, your greasy pans, cuts it great. I've also made body washes from lavender and from orange. Use whatever you want, right? It's actually good to use it on your hair too, but you might want to make a rinse of white vinegar to even out the pH because it's quite acidic or alkaline, one of the two. I can't remember those. Another good collection to have on hand would be Kid Sense. Now, I don't have that right now, but I am going to get it. And the reason is it's already diluted for little kids, so it's great to use on your smaller animals or animals that maybe you're not quite sure about using them on them. So let's see, Tummy Jize can be used for upsets and gas. Rub one drop on their stomach. No need to dilute, but if you see some of the effects that we talked about earlier, dilute it with B6 oil. Owie is for what? Owies. So, and I would feel comfortable using that on cats. It does have a little bit of tea tree, but it's such a blend that I would feel comfortable using it on my cats. Sniffles. You get kittens. You get them from the shelter. They've got upper respiratory infection, runny nose, goopy eyes. It's just a kitten thing. First of all, clean their poor little eyes with a warm, wet rag and their nose. Try to keep them clean, and then diffuse sleepy eyes. Sniffle ease, sorry. And then the other one is Genius. Dogs and cats get Alzheimer's. They are living longer now than they ever used to because we take care of them better, so they get the cognitive dysfunction. So I would suggest diffusing that for cognitive disorders. And the way that you can tell that they might have a little cognitive dysfunction, first of all, 10 years plus would be definitely geriatric animal. They'll forget house training, get lost in a corner, wander aimlessly at night and vocalize at night, and they don't sleep. They don't come to you when you're called, when you come home. They don't interact with the family anymore. Unfortunately, people think this is a behavioral problem, and it's not. So if you see this, please be kind and gentle and realize that it's not them, it's their brain. Also, I would take a drop and I would rub it on their occipital region right here, as we do our oils in the back of our neck to help with that. And then also, of course, you can pet them aromatically with it. Now, raindrop. Everybody should have the raindrop kit, right? For us, for them. There's so many. I'm not going to go into how to use the kit because it'd take way too long to do that. But there's a lot of videos on YouTube that you can look up. Kitty raindrop, equine raindrop, and we've seen that. And if anybody's been to the Mona Farm in Utah, they often do, Sherry Ross will often do a horse raindrop there. So for dogs, you're going to dilute it a little bit differently. You're going to take dropper bottle, well, 50 ml bottles. You would put 10 to 20 drops depending on the oil. 20 drops of the hot oils, 10 drops of the not so hot oils, and then fill them up with B6. And you would do the technique just like you would a human. And like I say, there's videos that you can watch for that. If the dog won't sit still for that, many of them love it, but some of them don't. If they don't, then take a 2-ounce dropper bottle and put 8 to 10 drops of all of the oils in the one bottle. Fill that up with B6 oil and just drip it along their back. If you can get them and you can rub it in, that's awesome. If not, the fur will whisk it in to their system. Same thing with, and then they will also be a diffuser for the other pets around the house. Another great, for the kitty raindrop, again, lots of information on YouTube about that. Take a 1-ounce dropper bottle, put 4 drops of all the oils in that bottle, and then fill that with B6 oil. And start with just 3 drops along the spine. A lot of cats will love it and they'll sit still, and you can do the whole procedure. Others, they won't. Just as they run by, drop some drops on them, and it'll whisk in, and they'll get the benefit from it. They just won't get the relaxation from it. You can actually use them on rabbits as well. These are some things I learned from the vets at the Animals and Oils conference, which is coming up. If you can get down to that, there's a lot of good information there. 1-ounce dropper, 2 drops of each oil. Fill it up with B6, and then the same way, just 3 drops. Watch their reaction, and if you need to, diffuse or use some Ningxia. Okay, let's see. We got all that. If they with Ningxia, if they won't, if they won't drink it, like I said, you can use the small syringe to get it into their mouth, or a dropper. Horses. We had a question about horses. Now, when I was in the large and small animal vet clinic, the number one thing that we euthanized for, unfortunately, was colic. And the reason for that is it's a $5,000 surgery. So first of all, prevention would be the best way to go about that. And you know, make sure that they got plenty of water. Wintertime's the worst for it. All you horse people know exactly what I'm talking about. But Dr. Shelton suggests that you keep bottles, these 2 ml bottles like this. One with 20 drops of Digice, one with 20 drops of peppermint. You keep several of them in your emergency kit or your barn kit. And first thing, call your vet. While the vet is on his way, she says that you can give 20 drops, and it's easier, you know, if you don't have the plastic top in it, and you just pour it in their mouth, into their cheek. Start with the 20 drops of each, and then wait for 30 minutes. And if they're still colicky, and you know they're pawing at their stomach, rolling, of course you want to keep them up and walking around for that. After 30 minutes, you can give them another bottle of each one. But if that doesn't do anything, and by then your vet should be there, it's surgery. You got to do surgery. Now, she also says that during raindrop technique for horses, they will get welts on their backs. She thinks that that is a detoxifying situation. If they roll on their backs, then it has been irritating to them. So again, dilute with B6, and that should be good. And I think, a couple other things. Thieves Ultra toothpaste has baking soda in it. some of the horse people will use this as a poultice for different things. For one, you can put it on the frog of their feet to keep it dry. And anything else that you'd need a poultice to do what thieves does for us. And I think that's all I've got. Went through it a little fast, but I know we're kind of limited on time.
That was great. Thank you. And we are kind of limited on time. I was going to tell everyone that our timer, because we're using Zoom as a free service, it's going to log us off here in about 6 minutes. But I just wanted to show really quickly, thank you, Deborah, by the way, and we're going to allow some question and answer here if anybody does have some questions that they'd like to ask. I was just going to pop up a few oils just to kind of show them off a little bit. This is Digize. Here we've got Trauma Life. Wanted to show that one. We've got Sleepy Eyes right here. Just some of the oils, peppermint that Deborah was talking about. So that's always a favorite, right? And then Purification was, I think, the first one that was maybe discussed. And we've got Valor, which is great oil for all sorts of purposes. And then Owie, here's the Owie. And Tea Tree, which is the one that Deborah was saying you have to be really careful with, especially with cats. So just wanted to show some of those off. I think the Tea Away, I think is out of stock, unless it may be back in, but I think last time I checked it was out of stock.
Actually, in stock right now.
It is? Okay, great. Great, yeah, because that one is a very popular oil and is often out of stock, like Deborah said. So when you can get it, and then just have some on hand for the future. And the same thing with the shampoo, the animal scent shampoo. That one is a very, very much a favorite. And so at times, if you can get it, and try to stock up a little bit on it because it is so popular. So let's see. I'm gonna unmute everyone. So if anybody wants to ask a question, or if you have some comment, go ahead. We've got about four minutes. Any questions out there?
Hi, Deborah. It's Melissa. How are you?
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, I just wanted to thank you for the sample of the TOA, by the way. I know it does go out of stock, so I'm re-upping my order there. Yes. And I just want to let you know, my cat loves the Ningxia Red. It's one of his favorites, so I sneak in the Life 5 because I don't have a Life 9, but I sneak a little of that in with his wet food and the Ningxia, and that works really well.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, good. Any other questions or comments? This has been very, very helpful. And so, Deborah, maybe it would be really good if you wanted to email just some of those
DIY.
The do-it-yourself, the DIY. What am I trying to say? The ratios, the recipes. Then we can post that on the Oil Junkies Facebook page and maybe even email that out. That would be great. So. And we've recorded this, so we will put this up on the Oil Junkies. We'll put a link on the Oil Junkies Facebook page to be able to view this on the YouTube channel, Oil Junkies YouTube channel.
No, like I said, it used to be something around these nights.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, I think there's a little bit of background noise there, but Heather thinks there may have been a comment or a question, but anyway, everyone can actually unmute themselves if they need to. So, but we'll post this on the YouTube channel and then put the link on the Facebook page, and also just send out the email to all the leaders so that you can all have this and send it out to downline or to family, friends, anyone. I mean, really anyone is allowed to go to those videos on YouTube because it's in public access. So, but Deborah, thank you so much. Is there anything else?
Thank you, Deborah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Welcome.
Deborah. If anyone does know when that new veterinarian Dusk Reference comes out, will you post that on Oil Junkies too?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That was actually exciting to hear about because I don't think we even knew that. So thank you, Deborah, for sharing that, and we'll keep an eye on that with Life Science Publishing. So another quick thing, I have 2 minutes. I noticed on Essential Oil Supplies, which is actually someone in our, is that right? God Oil Supplies. Sorry. And that is a company that they are distributing all sorts of things, such as the glass bottles, the roller balls, and all sorts of different things that you can use the oils with. They actually are signed up in our organization, and one of the things that I noticed recently on their website was a flip-top lid for your oil bottles. So I don't know if that's of any interest to anyone, but I'll try to find that link again because I didn't post it on the Facebook page right when I saw it, and I should have. So now I'm going to have to go find it again, but I think it'll be pretty easy. I don't know if it's of any real interest, but basically instead of just the twist top lid like you have here, it would be a lid that sits on here, but you just flip the top up off of here. And then you can kind of sprinkle the oil out. I'm not doing a very good job here. You would just sprinkle the oil out like that after you flip the lid off or up. So it's kind of like one of these lids, I guess. It's very similar to this where it just flips up, and then you would empty the oil out into your hand like that, or into a diffuser or anything. So not sure if that's of any interest, but I thought it was kind of a neat little gadget. So. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for participating with us. Discover something extraordinary until the next time, and we'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.